Just two more in the house, guys. How we doing? How are we doing? We'll get a dirty work out of the way first of all.
Yeah,
so
let's
guys,
do the dirty work.
YouTube, turn on your notifications, subscribe to us, leave a like, leave a comment on Spotify, follow us, leave 5-star reviews, 5 estrellas, and on
5 stars minimum.
Podcast on Apple, right?
Yep, Apple and
follow us.
Yeah. Just you know what to do. Leave comments, share it. If you're laughing, if we put a smile on your face today. There you go.
Exactly. TikTok.
Share it.
Why did I laugh? That was so pathetic.
Share it. But
we are on TikTok, guys. We are on Instagram. I feel like why are we not on Facebook?
I don't do Facebook. So
you don't do Facebook? Way out of your range.
I can't.
He's a 2000 baby.
I can't
that's
be
why.
asked. Like, yeah, it's a good question, but
no, you're a 2000 baby. Us 99 people, sweet. Come on.
generation gap.
I know. 5 days.
Actually, it's like 20 days.
So yesterday, for context, so if I say this, you guys will know. Whenever this comes out, you will know what time range we post this. But yesterday's we had the Northern Lights.
The Northern Lights came to visit.
Yeah,
the
in
UK.
the UK. How strange.
Unreal.
Who said you need to go to Iceland, Norway, and Finland?
I know, all of you. When I went up to the hill as well, like, met a few people.
You actually saw it, didn't you?
Yeah. So we met a few people, and then they were saying, like, that, like, they had paid to go to, like, all these places, and they didn't get to see it. And then here they are at home, and, like, seeing it, yeah.
So I literally got home around 9 o'clock-ish. No, tell a lie, around 11-ish. And I see everyone's story saying, "Oh my God, the Northern Lights, Northern Lights." So I go out my window. I open the window, like I open like the window. I'm like, "Where's the Northern Lights?"
See, look, you didn't have the commitment.
I didn't. I should have walked to see it, but like I literally, I was in bed when I saw the stories, and I saw him. Like, oh my God, Northern Lights! Open up my window. I was like, where are they?
Can I just say something, right? Like, I was fortunate enough to see it with my eyes, but a lot of the people who put it on their stories were only able to take the photos they did because of the night mode on your phone.
Really?
Yeah, so basically, what we were doing, so for context, what we done is we went on a hunt. So, like, my girlfriend really into, like, Northern Lights means, like, so much to her. So we were like, cool, we're going on a hunt. We're going to, like, darkest place. So we went up on a hill where, like, loads of people were. Ivanhoe Beacon, for anyone that's local. Like, I've seen, like, meteor showers and stuff there before. So I knew that was a really good spot. Went up there. But just for context, like, if you're trying to look for, like, night things, my phone's old, so I can't do that. But anyone who has, like, an updated phone, and I know, like, Android phones have it as well, if you put your phone on, like, a night mode, you can actually see the Northern Lights before they were there.
Really?
Because it picks up the, like, whatever light is there before you can see it with your eyes. So we knew that because, like, the sun was set, but not completely.
Yeah.
So what she done was, like, she took the photo of the sky and, like, you could see where the Northern Lights were, but you just couldn't see it with your eyes yet. So we kind of knew what direction to look. But essentially, what I imagine a lot of people put on their stories and stuff, they were taking it with, like, you could probably see it.
It was
like,
a little bit foggy, yeah.
Briefly, yeah. But they were able to see it because they had night mode on their phone.
That's huge.
But if you waited for, so, like, we were there for probably about 2 hours, just chilling and waiting. And just as soon as we were like, oh, okay, like, because we seen, like, briefly a little bit of fog. As soon as we were like, okay, cool, let's walk back, just the sky just lit up for, like, 10 minutes.
So did you stay another 2 hours?
No. We stayed for probably about another half an hour. The sky just lit up for, like, 30 minutes. It was like something from a film. It was crazy.
That sounds proper romantic.
It was...
That sounds
It was romantic. It was crazy, though. It was just crazy. Like, it put the biggest smile on my face. And it was something we were talking about the other day, about meditation.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I went, nothing, like, literally nothing in this life matters right now, in this moment.
Huge.
Like, just
in the moment.
In the moment, like, being in the moment, taking in the fresh air, taking in the wind, the moon, the stars, like, and then, like, these crazy lights in the sky.
That's huge. That is huge.
It does make you think as well, like, for me personally, like, imagine, like, all those centuries ago, like, all of our ancestors, like, walking the earth and, like, why they were so religious and believed in a god, because like they could see the stars, they could see the moon, they could see
You can see the stars.
the lights. Not like they could.
What's the difference? What's different now?
Light pollution.
Oh, true.
Which is why, unless you actually went out to like a hill where there was like no lights, that's why I went to Ivanhoe, because like it's all like farms and stuff. Whereas like if you're in the sea, like there's a lot of light pollution in the sky, a little bit cloudier, so you can't actually see through to the actual sky. So it's a lot more difficult to see, which is why the iPhones are so good, or like Android or that, because it pick up the light and it kind of, you'll be able to see it through your phone. But yeah, it's just crazy. But like actually being in that moment, huge. The fact that you didn't need your phone to see it as well.
Yeah.
And it was just like, where like, it was just unreal. And do you know what was crazy as well is hearing other people. Like there was a group, like not that far away from us, and like you could just hear the guy going, wow. Like, and it was just like,
Yeah,
but it was like, and you know what? It was like, you could tell it was like an older gentleman, like
Was
someone
it?
who has gone, probably who has had experiences in life.
Yeah.
And he was like, I am absolutely flabbergasted.
I'm upset. I've missed it now. I really.
You have an opportunity tonight.
I
know you're at work.
Is it one more?
Yeah, so just for general, there's the app's called Aurora or something like that. Aura. And it will just tell you when the northern lights are in the world all the time. So it's an app that runs all the time.
So I might be able to see it tonight.
Yeah. But it's a good app if you're going up to Scotland or if you're going on holiday or anything like that.
Do you know what?
To the northern places.
What is annoying about that, right? So I know I've missed it. I wasn't really bothered about seeing him, like, you know. I know it's a big thing, but like I wasn't really bothered about seeing it.
Yeah.
But I know when I was going through my stories on Instagram, there are some people there who just capture the moment and then happily go back inside.
100%.
So I knew, right?
The
So I was
amount
going through Instagram. I knew that there was one person who like got it, and I know straight away after they've got that picture, they've gone straight back to bed.
Yeah, 100%.
See, if I was gonna see it, this is why I didn't want to get out of bed, because I know if I was gonna see it, I would want to experience it. I'd want to be there for like half an hour just staring at it. I know some of you people on my Instagram story took that picture and went, "Oh, all right, that's Instagrammable." Done.
I actually had tears in my eyes.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so gay.
No, like honestly, bro, like I swear to God, like it was, I can't explain it to you. Like I actually, for me, I just,
You're very in tune, like with your
yeah,
emotions,
like
though.
I'm very like spiritual.
If
and
someone
emotional.
if someone gave someone like, if someone bought a hamburger, took a bite of it, and then gave it to a homeless person, you'll probably cry at that.
I wouldn't. No.
No, you would.
This is something so much bigger than anything.
No, I get it.
And I think as well, because we had that conversation the other day about like, you realise how materialistic everything is.
But you like the little stuff, like I like Northern Lights. Potentially, if I had someone who was, you know, into it, I'm not really into the sort of stuff. If I had someone that was into it, I probably would have gone and saw it. But you know, like,
I think you would be a different person if you like seen them. I think I still cannot comprehend that moment. Yeah. It was just crazy. And I think, you know, again, like after having the conversation we had the other day, like just about kind of,
we had a proper deep conversation.
So for context, we had a really deep conversation, like a lot about meditation, where you want to be in 15 years. That's huge as well, just to talk about quickly. Like, guys, like if you're kind of curious about whatnot, just it's a nice coping mechanism, and it's a good plan to have. Do you want to say about it?
What about
15 minutes, 15 years? It's just like a little, just like a little tip to throw out there. So
go for it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do it, but then I actually haven't had time. I actually wanted to do it before we did this podcast today. I don't know if I would share my like deepest insecurities, but basically what it is, like you get a pen and paper and get yourself in a quiet room and you just write about everything that's going on in your life, like a diary. You just write, but you can't stop writing for the 15 minutes. What it's meant to do, it's meant to like basically tire you out. So you get to a point where your psyche, like your inner,
your subconscious basically
your subconscious
takes over.
comes out and like literally just says it all on paper for you.
Yeah.
So you get to like the 8-minute mark, 7-minute mark, and now your subconscious is literally taking over, and literally what you're feeling deep down will come onto that paper.
Yeah.
So that's why it's 15 minutes, 15 years. It's like you talk
Where
about
you
what
wanna
you
be in
want in the
15
15 years,
Yeah.
how you're feeling currently at the moment. And I did want to do it. I genuinely did want to do it.
We
But
will
I
do it.
feel, I was deep in it the other day. So I went to bed, and after that conversation, because like we spoke for a good 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Like Sean wanted to go home, but Sean couldn't leave because
I was so like enticed.
yeah,
with
because the conversation,
I was like, wow.
genuinely, the conversation was so good. And it was 3 of us. Like we had Reese in there as well.
Yeah.
Like the conversation was so good. Like it was a just had to be there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's nice to have those.
And
moments.
it wasn't like this is something I like about Reese. There's no egotistic about the conversation. It's like literally like this has happened to me. This is what I've done. This is how I've changed. And then we just went in turns like what could have we have done at the time that would have changed, or because you never know. You genuinely, again, I always say this: you never know what someone's going through, right? You never know what someone's been through. You never know how someone's feeling that day. You just never know, right?
Yeah.
And like we just open up to each other. Literally, we just open up to each other. Reese took the lead, and then I went, and then Sean went, and just like we're just talking about mental health, talking about meditation. I think it came up to a point. It came up because I think all of us had tough.
Yeah, and
weeks.
like, do you know what was so interesting as well? I just picked up like over Instagram and just people I've been to speak to. Just feel like everyone had a rough week last week.
Yeah,
So
no,
it was just
yeah.
but like, yeah. So guys, I just wanted to throw that out there. 15 years, 15 minutes. Just get a pen and paper and just start writing 15 minutes about where you want to be in 15 years. See what happens. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah. I do want to do it, but subconsciously, I think I know what my answer.
We'll talk about it on an audio podcast. So
Yeah.
we'll both do it, and then we'll talk about it on an audio podcast. So just
Do
wait
you feel
for that.
like have you thought about it before you even wrote about it?
So an interesting one is that we'll get back to the main topic, but just an interesting one that I just want to throw out there is that I actually done that when I went through my last breakup. So yeah, we can go into that in a different podcast if you want to.
Yeah, you don't want to go into it?
It wasn't like a 15 minutes, 15 years.
You just wrote about everything.
All I did, yeah. So it was like a type
Don't
of
want to go into
journaling.
it?
No,
Sure?
I would rather do it on a different. Yeah, because like we've got other things that we need to talk about. But like, yeah, like it was just really nice. Sometimes it's nice just to write stuff down. But mine was typing.
So don't go too much into it. But what were some of the key points that you would have written down?
I can't talk. Like I can't say it now.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
1 point.
No.
Damn.
Okay, so basically that's
You
why
trying to move on now?
that's why that whole it's just like we need to keep to the niche.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So
Well,
yeah,
to
so
wrap-
that
to
was
summarise,
really
to
good.
summarise.
Yeah. So that's why it was so emotional, because it was like after that conversation about meditation,
Yeah.
about like materialistic things, about what actually really matters in life. It was just like wow, like look, like it was just crazy. It
No,
was a
honestly, like,
crazy moment.
That conversation to wrap this bit up. That conversation really enlightened me. Like Reese even kept saying to me like TJ's bored now. TJ's not saying anything. Like, but it wasn't because I was bored. It was just because I was
You were so deep in your thoughts.
like I was so deep in my thoughts, and I was really thinking about it. Like again, like you just never know what someone's going through. Like, and I appreciate Reese so much for that conversation, because that really did open my eyes. Like I thought I had it tough. Like I thought like my problems were like beyond anyone's problems, and Reese just like completely shouting them.
Yeah,
But like,
but it's
it really-
relative to you. That's the thing. That's all.
But again, like, what is deep to someone isn't deep to someone else. Like, what is
Yeah,
really
exactly.
what I'm really struggling isn't what Sean is struggling with. Like, do you know what I mean, guys? It is again like the conversation was so good that you just had to be there. And I literally said to Sean after the conversation ended, I was like, this should have been a podcast, because I reckon this would have helped so many people, so many young men, so many like. It just would have helped a lot of people. That
So-
conversation was so good.
Potential guest in the future.
100%.
Yeah,
I
so
said to Reese, like,
that'd be a
we
good
want to
one.
have you down. So shout out to Reese, because that conversation really, like, it genuinely did help me. And he probably doesn't think he did, but genuinely, it was a really
Goes
nice
a long way. Conversation goes a long way.
Yeah.
Problem shared is a problem half.
Yeah. And I feel like we need sometimes that older head, that older mentor. And I say it to everyone, like, if you can get a mentor, get like a therapist, get a coach like Sean's has, someone you can like literally say it all and not be judged by it. Because that's the thing, you can't be judged by these things. Like, you have to be open and honest and be able to take criticism and change from that.
Yeah.
Why you have a coach now? Like, your coach like lays it onto you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your coach like literally lays it onto you. Like,
But it keeps you inside.
keeps you grounded. For
Yeah,
sure.
exactly,
Keeps you grounded.
100%. So speaking about coaches and motivation, and the next part of the topic is Does money make you happy?
Would you want a broad answer, or would you want like that whole answer?
Well, so for context, we were listening to a podcast on the way here today, and the question was essentially about, does money make you happy?
To be fair, the podcast, when they spoke about this on the podcast, they didn't really touch upon it. So it was just like, does money make you happy? And he like touched upon it a little bit, but then he like moved on straight away.
Yeah.
And that question just like it didn't ground me, but it was like, this is something people always say, but people never touch upon it. So this is something I wanted to talk about, especially I said it to Sean, like we were in a car on our way here. I said it to Sean, I was like, we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
We need to talk about this.
So, okay, I'll give some context. So the kind of like the bit around it was, does money make you happy? So moral of the story, everyone's always going to have debate about this and whatnot, but money might not make you happy, but it does give you resources. So...
Nah, scrap that. Money makes you happy.
Like, yeah. So
I just feel like, let's be honest, guys. If you don't know how to like use money, obviously it's not going to make you happy. Like you're obviously going to put it into places you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, money will make you happy. Like money opens doors to everything. Like if you've got money, like what do you have to complain about?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you can put money into like investments, in money into like self-development, money into this and that, money into traveling. Like if you imagine like guys, you have like 10 mil. You don't have to worry about your next 3 years. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to worry about your next 30 years if you're putting the money into the right place. Do you know what I mean? What do you feel? Do you think I'm wrong in saying this?
No, so like I'll go back to a podcast that I listened to. So I remember this moment so well. So I was on a train, I was going to uni. This is my first year in university, and I was listening to Driver CEO when it actually used to be a good podcast.
Huge.
When it used to be a good podcast.
Yeah, it's downgraded a little bit. I'm sorry, Steve.
Because like, and it was just like good guests, and it was just natural, and it was free flowing. It was Mo Galdad. So really good guest, Mo Galdad. So like he used to work for Google, like Google special projects, stuff like that. He used to be the head of that. And then he speaks about how he lost his son, Ali, and it was like really dreadful. It was something awful. But essentially what it was is that more or less he could have lost his... You know what? I might actually have to cut this out because I don't even know if it's the right person.
Just go. Continue.
I don't even know if I'm talking about the right person. I'll see, because like...
It might be someone else, but...
It might have been someone else, but his one was really, really like impactful as well because he speaks a lot about happiness. Basically, all right, cool. I might have to cut that. Basically, I was listening to Driver CEO when it was a relevant podcast, and someone was on the podcast, and basically they were talking about how they almost lost their child. Yeah, because he actually lost his child, so it's a different person. Someone almost lost their child, and essentially all it was something so simple. And what it turned out to be was, sorry guys, we're in Luton, so obviously crazy people outside beeping the horn.
For context, you probably might hear it because we've got mics, but there's just beeps going on
Yeah,
outside.
it's crazy outside.
Crazy.
I can't even think. Watch the police sirens will be going off now. So essentially, yeah. So anyway, so
get to your point.
Yeah. So basically, moral of the story: a guy was going to lose his child over something that was so simple, but it was overlooked because he brought his child to NHS doctors and they didn't investigate further into the condition. So they gave like a general diagnosis. The son wasn't improving in health, and so they were left with no option but to then go private. Private kind of seen a little bit, kind of got a little bit further, but nothing was really solved. The kid was on in a really, really bad way, wasn't looking very positive until they then flew out to Dubai, got the best private medical healthcare, and they found out exactly what the problem was, and his son is now alive. It was basically like a process in like breaking down like certain vitamins. I can't remember exactly what it was, but basically it was like hormonal, and it had to do with like enzymes and breaking down foods and stuff like that. They then managed to find that and resolve it, and he saved his kid, right? So that would never have been possible if the guy didn't build the business and had the money he had. Yeah, and so ever since then, that has never left my head, because I'm like, wow, that's crazy. We're talking about saving your child's life.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's actually really sad when you say that.
Do you know what's more upsetting as well? Like imagine he didn't have money like that.
Overlooked by the NHS, poor like advice.
Yeah, like imagine you don't have money to take your son to private, let alone to Dubai and then take him to private, but just to private. Like you know your son's ill, you've taken him to the NHS, and the NHS, like being NHS, give him the wrong diagnosis. Say he's probably got something else that he's completely different to what he's actually got. Like this is why, like when we talk about money buys you happy. It really does, and it's so crucial to like the moments you need that extra money. Like, man, it's huge. It's huge.
So it gives you resources.
But I feel like, again, if it was me, I feel like it's different because the love you have for a child, your own child, is different to any sort of love you will ever feel, ever.
And
what I mean?
we don't even have kids.
But we don't even have kids.
So we can't even comprehend, but we can understand that feeling.
Yeah, exactly that. I can understand. Like, imagine having kids and you have no solution. Like, man, you're heartbroken. Like, this is where I think people like switch it up and just go ace. Like, some people have kids and like their business turns around.
Yeah,
and
they
make
true.
money. And obviously, we don't have that reasoning yet. Like, Sean
we don't.
That reason. I don't have that reasoning.
Yeah.
But I reckon if someone told me my kid was ill, and I wasn't working my ass off, making money like that, wow.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's just like, that's just one example. Another example is if you're going through, kind of similar situations that we were going through last week, where it was just like, you're full of anxiety, like you don't want to get out of bed. At least if you had money, you'd have the resources to get therapy, seek some help, get counselling, get a coach, jump on a plane, go to a sunny country, be by the sea, go on an adventure. And it's just like, money might not buy you happiness because happiness isn't a product.
But yeah, I get what you mean when
and
it says
people who chase happiness will only ever end up being unhappy because it's not a thing that you can chase. But money will give you less stress, and less stress is a much happier lifestyle.
Yeah. It's funny because like you ask like all these celebs and stuff like that if like money makes you happy, and they're like, no, like if I had my old life back, I would so pick it. Like, but you're such a liar.
Yeah,
you're such a liar. Like, just tell the truth. Money makes you happy. That's why you are in the position you are. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't be if you had the option of being broke and being rich. Or everyone's gonna pick rich, guys.
Yeah,
everyone's gonna pick rich. Like it's. Ask me, like ask me. Like example is me. Like if you ask me if I'd rather be broke and rich, like.
And also, it's the thing of
why I've got 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, right, I've got 3 jobs and I've got the podcast. Like,
but the thing is like as well, it's that also what other choice do you have? What scenario would you rather be in? Would you be in a scenario where you could lose everything? Because like with more money comes more stress, right?
Yeah.
But you have the resources to be able to cope with that stress.
By someone.
But also, like, what situation would you rather be in? Would you rather be in a situation where you lose your car, your house, like potentially your kids, or because you can't keep up with the financial demands of life? Or would you rather be in a situation where, things are just a little bit stressful because there's a lot of business going on?
Yeah.
And like, that definitely has its toll. 100%. That has its toll, and that's really difficult to get through. But what scenario would you rather be in? And the ultimate goal is that obviously, like, I'd much rather be stressed about business and, having those financial resources to be able to give all these things and have these things rather than not. That's
huge. So we spoke about does money like create happiness? It does. How do you now get the money? Do you know what I mean? That's the question, because people will be asking this and thinking, okay, so I need money. How do I get money?
All you have to do is find a way to make your
niche.
Like the way that I believe like you should make money is just find a way to monetize your happiness, or something that makes you feel fulfilled. So for me, it's like I was working in retail. I enjoyed working in retail. I enjoyed the bands and stuff like that. But it wasn't going to make me a business. It wasn't going to make me money. And also, you've got to find you have to do a lot of like deep within.
Soul.
Yeah, like so. Like I would sit there and I'd think like, what is it that I can actually really truly provide to this world? And for some reason, whatever it was, like whether I chose it or not, I'm in this position now where I'm a personal trainer. I do like help people, because the thing is like the word personal trainer always comes with like an interpretation of getting a six pack, being in shape for the beach body. Whereas for me, it's about functional movement, longevity of life, having muscle mass that
And
when
good
you're
mental health.
when you're older, yeah, you don't have as much like deteriorated muscle. You're helping with things like osteoporosis and arthritis and things like that. We're preventing these diseases and these horrible illnesses that you have to live on later on in life. And it's just like keeping people accountable to their exercise. And yeah, mental health as well. Exercise and making sure that you have a clear mind. You know, that's what I believe personal training and coaching is.
Yeah.
You have like your six packs coaches, you have like you'll get shredded, get bigger coaches. That's cool. Like,
But that's different coaches, because
Yeah.
you have like your personal trainers, and then you have like other niches. So you have your personal trainer that's good for bodybuilding, your personal trainer that is good for
Yeah.
overall fitness, which e.g. Sean lies in. Personal trainers that are good for circuit trainers, personal trainers that will train you up for something, personal trainers that are good for muscle, personal trainers that are good for fat loss. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so many, like personal training has a broad
yeah,
horizon. So
Yeah.
like when we say personal training, don't forget like within personal training comes bodybuilding, HIIT, blah 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 blah. Like there's so many, like especially this is why, especially guys, if you're looking for a personal trainer, look for the right one within your lifestyle.
and that's why you need to flick the switch a little bit, and it's like it's less about personal training and more about coaching.
Yeah,
because it's an overall lifestyle
Yeah.
change.
But going back to
How you
now
make
do
money,
we
yeah.
make
So it's
money,
just like,
do you know what? So you say that. So you were very happy in retail.
yeah,
You were very happy in retail. But this is the trap, guys. That is the trap. You can be so happy in retail, but then in the blink of an eye like this, you just spent 20 years in retail.
yeah.
How
mad.
crazy is that? Like you're happy in retail. Like you've got everything going. You're earning what? 1.5 a month? You know? Yeah?
Me?
Am I right in saying 1.5?
No more.
More?
Yeah.
No, just an average for.
Oh yeah, the average, yeah, yeah.
1.5
yeah.
a month.
Comfortable.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
You're comfortable. I can what? Take a Saturday, go off to Amsterdam, come back Sunday. Yeah, I work on just how I do Monday to Friday. Like you're just comfortable with your lifestyle.
And that's the thing is like, but that could be someone's happiness as well.
But why?
Because like, what else do they have? Like, they don't desire anything else, and that's okay. Like, that can be your happiness. But if you're someone that's not happy with that and you're unwilling to change, then you need to fucking do something about it. You need to switch up.
It's really sad to me with people with potential who are willing to waste their life in the matrix system. It just
wow.
No, it really
calling out the matrix.
It is true though. You are funding someone else's business. Like
Okay.
it's true though. Am I wrong in saying that?
El Jesus Tetos.
Guys, I might not be here next week. But it's true. Like,
Yeah, no,
how can you
100%,
waste?
yeah.
Like, how can you waste? Genuinely, how can you waste 20 years in retail and then like, I get it.
Well, it's not just retail. It's just any
Yeah,
job, yeah.
any
Just
sort of like, you know, Tesco's. You spent 20 years in Tesco's just to get a management position and earn 33 annually. Like, oh yeah, I'm so happy. Like you're happy telling people what to do, but then, you know, you're not happy. You live in a council house. Barely.
Not if you're
able
like
to pay that.
Nah, not if you're in Tesco's. Tesco's actually pay very well if you're like a manager in Tesco's. They
I'm
pay.
just
Like,
saying
I know what you're. I know what
broad.
you're
I'm just
saying. I know what you're
saying
saying.
broad.
All I'm saying is like
Gosh.
Tesco's pay insane.
All right. Like,
If Tesco's offered me a management position, I'm going. I promise you, I'm leaving.
do you want to take your tongue out of Tesco's ass?
So sponsored by Tesco Club Card. Sign up in the link below.
Tesco Mobile.
But like, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's like it's very systematic.
It disappoints me. It disappoints me. People with full potential, people who go into like the work industry at 16, 18, so much potential, and then they get stuck in this trap and
It's the trap as well of like,
being comfortable, being happy. Oh my God, I've got money.
but like the thing is that it's not even that. It's just like it's just the bigger trap of that. It's like you'll go home or like you'll do your job and then like naturally what you do is like you'll go home and you'll just have like a glass of wine or you would start drinking and then you wake up, then you go back to work, then you like
The cycle.
it's just like and it gets a lot, and then we wonder why, because this is another thing in the UK versus like Nordic countries. they have like and I think it's a UK problem ultimately, because we just work, like we live to work.
Oh, yeah, big time.
And like in other countries they have like the 4-day work week, stuff like that.
Oh, huge.
And I feel like in the UK everyone's so overrun with work, and it's just like, and I think that's why there's so much like content on leaving jobs and like being in
Starting
the
your own
Matrix
business,
and stuff like that, because people are just so tired and overworked, and that's why they're in this cycle. Maybe like working in
Is that a thing? Is that a thing, by the way? The 4 days? Is that a thing?
Yeah, in most other countries. Or everyone, like nothing will be open past like a certain time.
I just feel like
so like
that
everyone
would
has their
solve
evenings
so
and
many
stuff.
problems.
School systems are less hours in school and more independent as well. Just stuff like that. And I just feel like, because the thing is as well is that in the UK, you work so hard and you get your salary and your wage, but you have nowhere to then like spend it. So you then end up spending on things like alcohol and that. Whereas if you actually had more time to do stuff in a day, you'd be able to spend it on purposeful things. So if you're working a 4-day work week,
So huge.
By the way, if you're working 4 days or 5 days, your 1 day off is, your 2 days off is just recovery. Realistically, that's your recovery.
So me now, guys, for a little bit of context, I do like a 6-day.
By the way, like TJ is in the Matrix.
I am.
That's why he's so emotional. That's why he's speaking about this, because he's caught up.
I will get
he's
out of
caught
the Matrix.
up.
I'll be so honest, guys. I'm working towards it. But I do a 6-day week, and my only day off, guys, is Sunday. And like you said, my day off usually back in the day would be to go down to the pub, like to meet friends, go down to the pub, have a drink. Like it's so true. It is so true. But then like you get to Monday and it's like a reset, but you can't reset because you're still hungover from the Sunday.
Yeah.
And that cycle continues. So yeah, make money is the way forward. Make more money and get out of it. That's what people do.
I had a counterpoint, but I can't remember now. I had a really good counterpoint that would probably upset you, and now I forgot.
Upset me?
Yeah, you probably would have been like, nah, I don't agree with that.
Go on.
But I can't remember. That's what's really annoying.
Oh.
No, do you know what's that's so annoying? Like when you have something on your head and you're like, oh, that's a good counter, like that's a good devil's advocate and stuff like that. But that's it. Now I remember. So just a caution on that as well. And this is something that I fell entrapped to, and like this is something that is like kind of bothering me a little bit as well. Is that I just want to counter all of this and just say that, you know, everyone, all the content is like, oh, working a 9 to 5 is bad and you don't have this and that, and like living paycheck to paycheck. By the way, running your own business and making your own money, there is no paycheck.
Yeah, it's true.
So like, trust me, like there's no greener grass. There isn't. Like there's not a greener grass.
I think that
because like the amount
there is you can't say that. There is a paycheck. Is it the paycheck you want? Potentially not. Is it?
But it is relative to the work that you put in.
Yeah.
So, but it is a thing. Yeah. There is no paycheck. So I understand why people would rather just do a 9 to 5. Like realistically, there's some days days where I would rather just have a 9 to 5 and I'd rather just disappear.
It's that reward to risk factor. Like, you know, a 9 to 5 you will get paid at the end of every month. If you start your own business, there will be months that you won't get paid.
You don't get nothing.
You won't get nothing.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that that's not nice.
It's not nice, but...
And that's scary. Like,
are you willing to take risks?
Yeah, but no one's creating content on that.
No, but are you willing to take risks to become your better self and become someone, rather than not take risks and just be stuck in this matrix for 20 years and get to a point where you can't even retire because you don't have enough savings to retire from?
But then how many people that have like tried to run their businesses and lost everything?
But then I'd rather lose everything, but knowing I've tried my hardest to get to be stuck in the matrix for so many years and get to a point where I'm 60 and I'm still looking for a bloody job. Do you know how sad that is? Like, we still have people in this country who get to 60, 65 and are still working. Full-time jobs.
That's another thing as well, is that, you know, working age is only going up. So
like, your point just goes straight down the drain.
All the more reason to get a personal trainer and work on your muscle mass.
Get out the matrix. Start getting out the matrix, guys. Hustle on yourselves. Put money into yourselves. Instead of spending £100 every week on like the pub, Put that £100 into a coach. Put that £100 into a mic. Put that £100 into a phone. Put your £100 network. Get
create
LinkedIn,
a podcast.
Create a podcast. Whatever, guys. And honestly, rule the bloody world.
Just do something for yourself.
Do something for yourself, because that matrix will eat you alive. You don't want to be to a point where you're 65 and you're still looking for a job. And when you're 65, bro, when you're 65, no one will hire you. Trust me, they're going for the same person who started off like you. They were 18, and they're going to hire them. That's just how it works.
Can I just say as well is that most jobs won't be a thing because of AI. So you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn how to earn your money.
You're gonna have to learn how to be different
yourself, anyways.
Yeah, you're gonna have to learn.
I
to be
feel
different.
like, and that was another thing in retail where I was like, okay, I kind of need to jump ship now because I was like, these robots are taking over. Yeah. Like, I promise you might not think it, and like people won't realize it, but I promise you it's happening. And I was like, I need to do something that's personable, where I'm actually working with people, because all of these other industries, it's just becoming.
Do you know what's funny? Like,
automated.
There's no robot that can take a PT's job.
I know. Like, you've got Peloton and you've got the AI and stuff like that, but it's not.
One-to-one PT will never die.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It won't. Because you've got online coaching as well, but again, like, it's still person to person.
One-to-one PT will never die.
Yeah.
I think it's a job where, as much as people try to create all these different things, having a one-to-one PT, having a person there, it's so much more refreshing than having an online coach who's not actually there with you. Yeah. Which is good, but hey, 100%. Like, I'm not shitting on any online coach because I'm an online coach myself. But having one-to-one PT will never die, because it's just people want that one-to-one interaction. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, online coaching it's a different market, it's a different niche, it's different people. So yeah. But yeah, 100%.
But does money make you happy? The whole context, guys.
What is your answer?
Horizon. We could like speak about this for ages, for hours and whatever. Yeah. But essentially, we speak about this so much because, guys, at the end of the day, it's the truth. You don't want to be in a place where 20 years down the line, I've seen it myself. I've worked with people. We've worked with people who are 60s or 50s, late on, that, you know, are reaching that benchmark and are like, you know. But anyway, guys, that
Question
will be...
to leave you with, does money make you happy? Let us know what you think. Comments
We'll speak about this another time and go into more depths. But guys, Just2More over and out. Make sure
you do the dirty work.
Check with your mum, check with your sister, check with your dad to watch the podcast.
And your grandma with her cup of tea. Loves it.
Boom.